$20 yeah, it's expensive.
Okay, all right. How's everybody? You're okay?
Thank you.
Okay, today I'm going to talk about most of the things that what I'm going to talk about has already been touched here. It may be a repetition of this and that, but I think what is important today, I'm going to talk about female disorders. Female disorders. Yeah. Female disorders, which cause a lot of problems in most people, most women. So, when I came here this morning, somebody made me to feel over the moon. I received a message just when I was
In the car.
going out of the car. Then I get a message. Then this little girl says, not little girl, young woman says, Gogo, I'm right. Oh, Gogo, you are right, yes. Then about that, yes. You know what, she has been struggling for years to make babies.
Oh,
Yeah. And then this morning she phones. And then I said, oh, just share the message with the lady I'm next to. Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I felt good. Okay. Because I warned her, I said, you follow exactly what I tell you. Yeah, step 1, step 2, and then step 3. And with diet, you take exactly what I am telling you. Then she phoned to say she's alright. Because she had these female disorders. That's right. Okay. In most cases, our parents, I think it's because of ignorance. When we grow up as little girls, when you start having pains, they say, okay, when you get babies, the problem will be over. That's what we grew. They say, when you start menstruating, you have these pains, you roll about to do all these things. You have to be in bed, you don't go to school, you get it. And then they say, when you get a baby, the problems will go over. And then you get married. Still, the problem that is not solved. You don't get the babies because the problem is not solved. So we have so many of them. We have the first one is the ordinary menstrual problems. And then we have endometriosis. And then we have fibroids. Good. And all those problems stem from when we start menstruating. It's just that our parents do not know exactly. And the doctors find out when it is already too late. Some of it's not known where it comes from. You get it? So with menstrual problems, they say in every woman, we experience them differently. Some have pains, and then the pains come unpredictably, they just come. And then some bleed abnormally, some swell up, some do this and that. It's that period. Some have their breasts swollen or full, you get it? It's that time of the year. And then they lose a lot of blood, or they have no blood at all, very little. You menstruate for 2 or 3 months, from there it stops. And then, especially for 16, 17, 18 years, it stops, and then it comes again at the age of 21 years, and then it stops again. You're never sure what happens during that time. Okay. And then it causes tiredness, and then it causes dizziness as well, the menstrual problems now. they cause different physical problems in different women. And women, we are not the same. Same men also have their problems, but they are for that individual body. That's right. And then it's some of the things. It also causes what? Infertility. Ne? So we have what you call endometriosis, but I'll talk about it broadly. When the tissues grow in the uterus and outside the uterus and outside the anus. We call that endometriosis, and it's very painful. Okay. And then you have uterine infection. The uterine infection also comes toilets and all that. You sit in the toilet, you get the infection, you get, or you have somebody accidentally. When we grew up, we used to exchange the girdles. At school we were wearing a gym dress, and then the gym dress, I borrow your belt, I use it. That's where the problem goes. And then the fibroids, I'll talk about fibroids. They also cause the bleeding. And then we have scars in the tissues. And then the they called it what devices that are put for birth control. They also cause infection, or they cause scars in the body. Birth control, they do put food things here, birth control, except for the tablets. Okay. And then another one is the tilted uterus. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't believe until I read the books. People would say, the doctors say, the nurses say, I have a tilted womb. How come? Has it moved somewhere? Yes, they say it's tilted. That's right. It does get shifted. Maybe because of an accident. Sometimes you have accident, or the heavy load of carrying heavy things and all, or doing strenuous work, it does get shifted. Very strange, isn't it? Unbelievable. Did you know about that?
No.
Okay, some women experience tension, premenstrual tension. You become very tense, irritable and all that before you menstruate. And then it happens 3 or 7 days before you menstruate. You get irritable, this and that. You don't understand yourself. It's that time of the year, it's coming. That's right. Okay. They say the menstruation becomes a discomfort, fatigue, cramps, and you also people become depressed. And then if the immune system, if your immune system is not strong enough, you also suffer from all these things. And then it is also, menstrual problems are caused by a cold body. When your body is also, young girls expose themselves. They don't wear properly. They want their figures to be out. They don't, during that, the very time when they are menstruating, they don't wear warm clothes. But during our time, our mothers used to tell us you must wear properly. Our mothers used to tell us, but today modern mothers don't tell, because these children, they say you are behind times. That's what they say. They say it was during your times, not this times. You are behind times. So they are not advised. Okay. And then, okay, others have just minor problems. And then I've talked about menstruation. It can be controlled with the herbs. There are different herbs that you can drink as a young woman when you start menstruating. One of the herbs that every woman or every young man, or from the age of when you start menstruating, is horsetail. Horsetail. You can drink it and you grow every day. You drink it every day into old age. You don't have problems. It's horsetail. Do you know it?
No,
Horsetail.
I've seen
Okay.
pictures.
Horsetail.
I've seen pictures of it. I've never seen it growing.
It grows wildly in my garden.
Okay.
It's just that I don't have it, but it's and
Common.
it's tasteless. You won't. It's something that you, when you drink it, you don't feel the taste. You can throw it away. But what it does, it bends all the growing cells in the body. All of them, they grow. It eats them. It bends them, and it's very mild, tasteless, and not toxic. Horsetail, ne? And then we come to
Mama Maria, do we get hostile there at
let me
discount?
give you
Yeah.
the teas.
It is a
Okay.
scam.
Let me give you the teas. Teas for a tea for cramps. Ne?
Yeah.
It's a teaspoon of cramp bark, or a teaspoon, ne? And then have a teaspoon of motherwort. Motherwort. Half teaspoon chamomile. Half teaspoon wild yam. Wild yam is a root, ne? And then have a teaspoon dried Californian poppy. It's a beautiful flower. It grows, yes,
Californian.
yeah, throughout the year. Even it doesn't die in winter. In fact, it blooms in winter. It has beautiful flowers, Californian poppy, ne? And then valerian, half a teaspoon valerian. And then half a teaspoon skull cap.
Valerian.
Skull cap, half a teaspoon skull cap. And then 900 before 900 milliliters water, it's licorice. You know licorice?
Yes.
It tastes nice, ne?
Mhm.
It gives taste, ne? Just a little of it, ne? And then
900, what is it?
licorice.
No,
Okay,
900 milliliter water.
Oh, okay. Oh, water.
Mm.
And then licorice.
900 milliliter water. You boil the ingredients method in a saucepan. Lower the heat. Simmer 5 minutes. Remove from the heat and stand 20 minutes. Strain the herbs. Take 1 cup 2 to 3 times a day. It depends on the intensity of the pains. Take 2 to 3 times a day. And then heavy periods. Heavy periods, ne? 1 teaspoon shepherd paste, a tincture. 1 teaspoon yarrow tincture, half a teaspoon raspberry tincture, half a teaspoon Agnus cactus, AG, AGNUS cactus tincture. So I make my tinctures. It's the yarrow that you saw in the garden. And then shepherd purse, it grows. It's a weed in the grass. And then raspberry. Okay. So the tinctures I make, because sometimes when you want the herbs, the herbs are not there or they have died, like it is in winter. So if you have your tinctures in the house, they're ready. You keep them for a year. They don't get spoiled.
And how do you make it?
Unfortunately, you make it with alcohol. But you take only a teaspoon of each in a cup of boiling water.
A teaspoon of
alcohol.
The tincture.
I
So
make the
tincture is made
tinctures.
from alcohol.
Okay, so how do you?
If
So
you
with
want to-
what
this,
proportion is it?
Okay.
What proportion is it? A teaspoon
a teaspoon tincture, shepherd purse, a teaspoon of each, not a teaspoon. It's a teaspoon of shepherd purse,
and yarrow.
a teaspoon a year, and then raspberry, half a teaspoon, and then Agnus, half a teaspoon in a cup of warm water.
Mama Maria, there's just a comment here or a question here. So Sister Chandra would like to know, how do we get rid of the alcohol? Let's just explain what a tincture is.
Pardon?
Yeah.
With it's a
Is
way
it vodka? Is it vodka?
a tincture is
not
one
vodka.
of the methods of preserving herbs.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, but
Okay, so you take a teaspoon of alcohol and then.
No, you make yours. I make
You make
it.
it
I make them in liters.
Okay.
Yes, I make them in liters. But when you can make it in a liter, but you don't use the whole thing. You keep it aside, like this thing. Who knows shouldn't bitter? Elixir. Shouldn't bitter is a tincture. And then when you use shouldn't bitter, you only take a teaspoon in a cup of warm boiled water. You get it? That's right. It kills the alcohol.
Oh.
And then the alcohol draws
It's very concentrated.
the medicinal properties.
Yeah.
It draws all the medicinal properties from the bark, because some of the herbs that you use are barks that you get from the trees. That's right. And then with a bark, you can't just boil it. You have to
You have to extract it.
extract it.
Now that's
And
what
the
I
way
want
of
to know.
extracting
Okay.
it's making a tincture.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Now that's
right.
what I want to know. How to make the tincture.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, okay, okay. It depends how much you are making. That's right.
Okay.
For instance, the elixir,
John's wort. I don't know. Elixir.
the one that I talked about right now, elixir, shouldn't
No,
bitter.
shouldn't.
Agnes.
Shouldn't bitter. Shouldn't bitter is, there's
Oh,
a small
sweet bitters.
shouldn't bitter. There is one that is made of 11 herbs.
Yes.
And when you check on it, all those herbs, most of them are roots.
Okay.
And then there's the greater one, which is made of 19 herbs. The 19 herbs are also roots. So in order to get everything from these different roots, you use the alcohol. And the only the alcohol that I use vodka. Vodka. Because the others, they say you can use whiskey. Whiskey is expensive. Okay, that's right.
I also know about vodka.
But with that, we can make a demonstration at some other time, not today. Okay. Okay. And then shepherd pest, we can only know it in summer when everything is up. There must be.
Now, yeah, there
Yeah,
must be
there
now.
must be, yes. It's a beautiful small thing, it's a small thing. And when you look at it, the way it is described, when you open it, it's like a real shepherd purse. You open it. I've studied these herbs because I wanted to know exactly why do they say it's a shepherd purse. And with me, fortunately, some of these herbs, I don't know what no, we see them growing just next to the door. Then I pick them up, dry them, and then do whatever. It's good with the herbs, you have to know it alive. Then you'll understand. When they say it's a king's crown, you must actually study it. It looks like a king's crown. That's one of the herbs that I found, the thyme nasal. There's a thyme nasal here. Yeah. And then I asked this gentleman, do you see who was selling, the owner of the shop?
Walker.
I asked him, do you see what it looks like? He didn't understand, and then said, what is the name? It's the crown, king's crown. And it was looking like a crown, but he didn't understand. He's just selling.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have premenstrual tension. Okay. A teaspoon Agnus cactus is also a beautiful, it's grayish, it's a flower, it's grayish. It berries, small berries, grayish, ne? And then 1 teaspoon wild yam.
What is it?
Agnus cactus. 1 teaspoon wild yam. It's a root. And then half a teaspoon burdock, it's a root. And then half a teaspoon dandelion.
That also grows like
All
nuts.
our yards have dandelions.
A yellow flower.
Dandelion. And then half a teaspoon feverfew.
Few.
Fever for fever.
Oh, what is
Few.
fever? What is that?
FEVERFEW. And then a teaspoon of orange peel. The orange
Dried?
peel.
Dried or
1 teaspoon orange peel grated.
great.
You boil them in 900 milliliters of water. I normally make it a thou because when it boils, the other is so 900 will remain. Okay.
Boils on.
Take 2 or 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the condition. And then regulating the herbs that help to regulate your periods so that they come on time. Okay. It's a 1/4 teaspoon, 1 1/4 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon and 1/4 of Agnus cactus tincture. 3/4 teaspoon black cohosh tincture. These are tinctures, all tinctures. And then half a teaspoon motherwood tincture. And then 1 teaspoon boldo or burdock. And then 1 teaspoon St. John's wort tincture, not oil, tincture. And then half a teaspoon Californian poppy tincture. You blend them together into 1 powder. No, you blend them together, not into powder. It's the tinctures, you blend them together into 1. No? And then take 1 teaspoon in the morning and 1 teaspoon at night, undiluted. You are regulating now, undiluted. 1 teaspoon in the morning and 1 teaspoon at night for 4 months. That's what I told the lady. Do what I tell you. Make no mistake.
Follow the rules.
Yeah. Okay. If you can regulate the periods, then everything goes accordingly. And then we have endometriosis. Endo is endometriosis. Endometriosis. It said it's a very mysterious one,
And common. It's common, isn't it? Common.
It's a mysterious feminine problem. That is
Mysterious
endometriosis.
feminine problem.
It is, I know about 2 people who have it, so I said could be common
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, it could be common, but people, even the doctors, find out when it is already late. That's right. If they find out when it is already late, that's right. Okay. It occurs when the uterine tissues migrate. They increase, they migrate, they move outside the uterus to the ovaries, fallopian tubes, and the cervix, the bladder, and the bowels. They move everywhere. Say they even grow outside the pelvic area. Poor woman. And they can go up to the lungs.
Water.
They say the body swells and you bleed monthly, every month. You don't know when you are menstruating. You don't know whether it's that time of the year or it's not that time of the year. Very painful.
Does it happen to really older women over 40
Young
years?
people,
No.
young women
It starts,
as well.
it starts period pains.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And then in our language we say kisilumi.
Okay.
I don't know what you call it in English, in Afrikaans or English, but we say silumi. It's like something is biting you, something is eating you. That's silumi. You can see that it affects all parts of the body. Symptoms, the woman, they say they differ from woman to woman. Some are severe and some are not existent. You don't feel it. It's there, but you don't feel it. And sometimes women don't realize that they have the condition until doctors diagnose when they are looking the cause of infertility. You get it? Most common symptoms are abdominal pains and severe menstrual cramps, excessive bleeding, irregular period, painful and sexual intercourse. Those are some of the symptoms. It is difficult to diagnose endometriosis because it has the the same symptoms as indicated in pelvic inflammatory disease. The symptoms are like other menstrual disorders, ne? As a skeleton piece, ne? Women at between 25 and 35 years learn that they have endometriosis, yet it started when they started menstruating. Ne? When hormones are kept in balance, endometriosis often disappears, rendering the disease inactive. Ne? It can be treated surgically by operation, but the disadvantage is it regrows again. Ne? By saying it is that the operation is called laparoscopy. It removes the tissues, ne? But the tissues can regrow in the same spot again. Very bad. The T for endometriosis. 1 teaspoon Agnus cactus. Agnus, you have it somewhere there. 1 teaspoon red clover. 1 teaspoon wild yam. 1 teaspoon crankback. 1 teaspoon horsetail. You remember the horsetail?
You're too fast.
You're going too fast.
I'm
Too
fast.
fast.
Okay.
I'm sorry to wild yam.
Okay, let me start again.
again.
1 teaspoon Agnus cactus. 1 teaspoon red clover. 1 teaspoon wild yam. 1 teaspoon crankback. 1 teaspoon horsetail. 1 teaspoon raspberry. Half a teaspoon motherwort, 900 milliliters of water. Combine the herbs and add them to boiling water and then simmer 5 minutes. Remove from the heat and then steep again for another 15 minutes and then discard the herbs. Take 5 times a day, 5 to 6 times a day. It does, I have proof that it does remove the endometriosis instead of going for an operation, which regrows. With the herbs actually go to the actual cause of the problem. They are slow to act, but they actually destroy the cause of the problem instead of going for surgery. Ne? Okay. And then another treatment that you can do, ne? Take a towel, ne? And then you soak it in castor. We call it a castor oil pack. You soak it in castor oil. Fold it 4 times, a towel, ne? You fold it 4 times, you soak it in castor oil, ne? And then you put it here on the
Castor oil, you put water or
No,
just castor oil?
castor oil as it is. You soak, you buy a lot of castor oil.
Okay.
Castor oil, ne? You soak the folded towel, you fold it into 4, if a deck. And then you soak the towel, ne? And then the towel, you put it here. And then after putting it here, you put a plastic on top of the towel, ne? And then on top of the towel, you put another towel or another cloth. And then you put a hot water bottle.
Okay.
Hot water bottle. Okay. I said you soak, you fold a towel 4 times, ne? Very thick. And then you soak it in castor oil. We call it a castor oil pack. And then you take the towel as it is, you plate it on the abdomen. And then those are the old granny's methods. The granny's methods that you're talking about. Ne?
Exactly.
And then you put it here, and then on top of it, because it's castor oil, you put a plastic. Ne? And then on top of the plastic,
Another towel.
you put another towel. Or you can put the hot water bottle directly on top of the plastic and then cover again around with a.
That's how.
You know what? The whole place gets warm. Gets warm. And then with the herbs that you are taking, they actually break the sticks. And it works wonders. The grain is the traditional style. Ne?
I don't have a discount to go to.
Exactly.
Okay, let me start again because I was telling you, let me get it for you more. Okay. But castor oil packs for any kind of pelvic pain. It improves the immune system.
Okay.
Listen, saturate a piece of flannel or wool folded 4 thickness, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? With a cold pressed castor oil, room temperature. You don't warm up the castor oil. It must be cold. Okay. Put the flannel directly on the lower abdomen with a plastic bag on top. Place a hot water bottle on top of the plastic and then cover. Ne? That's right. And use the pack 3 times a week for 3 months. So 3 times a week for 3 months. It's a long process, but it helps at the end of time. Okay. Are we happy about that one? Okay. Then we come to fibroids. Fibroids. I am also a victim of fibroids. I had a fibroid. I know what I'm talking about. These are solid masses called tumors. They grow slowly in the uterus, ne? And then they cover the walls of the walls of the uterus, ne? Most of them do not cause problems, but can cause heavy menstrual bleeding between periods. Ne? And then they can also cause heaviness of the pelvic. You feel it's heavy here because there are other layers that have grown in. Do you have a squash in the house? The squash. Do you know?
What kind of squash?
Yeah.
James squash.
The uterus is smooth inside, but once it has fibroids, ne? It's like it's squash, the squash pumpkin.
Yeah.
That roughness, ne? Your womb becomes like that inside here. So it stops, it blocks the tubes. It blocks everything, ne? And it also blocks the pathway. The pathway where the sperms are to move, ne? Into the ovaries. They block. Ne? They cause heaviness of the pelvis, frequent urination, no kor, do you want to go to the toilet, severe cramps, and infertility. Ne? Excessive bleeding, which causes fatigue and anemia, loss of blood. Lose blood. Ne? Fibroids prevent pregnancy, they block the pathway, they prevent the implantation of the embryo. If it happens that you have them and you fall pregnant, there's a chance of getting a miscarriage. Mhm. Or heavy bleeding after you've got the baby. Ne? They obstruct the delivery of the baby. The babies. If you happen to be pregnant, they obstruct a normal delivery. They interfere with the contractions. They occur between women between the ages of 35 to 45 who have never been pregnant. Ne? Often develop one fibroid after another. Sometimes you even have hundreds of them, not knowing.
True.
I had a friend, one Okolesut. I had a friend, one of our church members wanted to have a baby. Well, we didn't have, but she was not getting babies. We didn't know what the problem is. So I just gave her the herbs, and then she happened to fall pregnant. When she went for labor, when I phoned, she said, I'm in hospital. The hospital, it's bad. Almost the whole week, struggling, until she got the baby. The baby was all right, but she was very weak. And then it was discovered that she had a very huge fibroid. When she phoned to tell me that, she was also, the doctors were also surprised how it happened. Miracles do happen. She got the child, but she had this big, and it had to be removed. Okay. And then they say they do happen. You can have more than 100, but they disappear after menopause. But can really
Long time.
after a long time they disappear after menopause. Ne? And then the peppermint tea, the teas, it's peppermint, aloe vera, cat's claws, C-A cat for cats, the cats that we have in the house, cat's claws, and wild yam.
Wild?
Yeah.
Wild yam.
Oh.
Mhm. Okay. That is it about fibroids. I also had fibroids, and I was very miserable, because when the doctor explained what it is, I was very miserable, because at that time I only had one child, and then the doctor said I may not have the other one. So with me, I was helped by my cousin brother, who is a doctor. I told her that the doctors, no, I've been to Baragwanath. Baragwanath says this and that. And then he asked me, can I check on you, sister? Then I said, okay, I can, because I want you to see exactly. And then he told me that, okay, when you start bleeding again, you come to the seizure at such and such a time, on a Wednesday, I'll remove it. He actually removed it.
Sure.
I could see it. He did it in his seizure. Maybe I could see it, he showed it to me, and the bleeding stopped. And then it ended there. I happened to fall pregnant, the second child. I didn't know when, but my second son was there. fibroids. You don't have fibroids. You become miserable. The same with, in fact, all of them. But endometriosis is worse. It's worse because it grows
Into all your.
and up to
Sure.
the lungs. Most horrible. Okay. Any more questions? That is for you. Tomorrow you'll be a granny or a mother. Okay. Your niece, your what granny. You still have grandchildren. Same to you, my dear.
Oh, no, I'm done. Thank you. Factory closed.
No, but your grandchildren. Your grandchildren.
Yes,
yes.
That's still a long time from now.
Yeah, but at least
You've got it.
Yes, no, for my daughter.
but you can have you can tell a neighbor or a friend that it may be you get because they'll tell you that, man, I am having a problem. Okay, fine. All right. The other one.
Is everybody okay for drinks? Does anybody want anything more?
Could I have a juice, please?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Could I have juice, please?
Sure, yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, we can talk about the rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, let's work with it.
Thank you.
This is wonderful. I mean, definitely for my daughter because she suffers a lot from cramps. But you're so right because she, you know, mommy tells her cover up and then it's these thin little straps and I want to wear what I want to wear, mom. So,
So you understand now when they menstruate, when they are moody.
Cat's outside.
No, just take the same size, just weird.
Our grannies, our mothers used to say, they will get right when you get a child.
So I just want to understand this one of castor oil and the towel. You can also do it with cotton wool and then put the castor oil in the cotton wool and put it here.
I think, you know what, the towel,
Yeah.
the
Small
towel, or a woolen,
Or a small.
a towel or a small what. The thickness, because the cotton will absorb. And then it's, I don't know, but they're talking about the
might
towel.
not.
I prefer the towel.
Okay, but the towel is
Yeah, it might not get too wet as the cotton wool.
And it won't get cold.
okay.
Old methods.
Old method. I didn't know that one. That one of castor oil.
Sure, yeah.
So the magic is in the castor oil.
Hey,
Yeah,
yes.
the other one is-
It boosts. It helps with the immune system. Very funny.
Yeah.
It's too much, I think.
It seems warmer now outside. I'll just pick if you want to really write down. It looks so warm outside.
I wish you could have more young women so that they can be able to understand.
Yeah, sure, because there's a lot.
I know
that you
two
can-
young ladies
Mm.
that had, what do you call it? Endometriosis.
Mm.
I can't say the word.
Are we having a break?
We're waiting for the baby. Zelda.
With the tinctures, the advantage is when you have them, you have enough in them. Even if you have a patient who comes at night, you've got the stuff ready. You get it.
I really want to learn how to do the thing.
That one is a school on its own.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
a class on its own.
Because in winter, many of the plants die.
Yes.
So you.
Kitty is gorgeous. So playful. It's like
Okay. Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're talking rheumatoid arthritis, ne? Or RA. Just RA, rheumatoid.
Do you have another pen for me,
I-
please? My thing is.
Let me try this.
It's what?
I need something to write.
Okay.
Or the
Pink.
sharpener.
I don't have a sharpener.
You specifically want a pencil.
Something to write with.
Yes.
And you have another one.
I've got another
It's all right, Mama Maria. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
You see,
Yeah,
I
they
tried-
say they say it's an incurable automatic. I mean, the doctors say it's incurable disorder, but I say it can be cured. There is a cure. There is a cure. The white medicine and what they say it's incurable, but I say there is a cure for arthritis.
It's wonderful.
Ah.
You know, my granny had her fingers were like this for many, many years. She couldn't actually even barely hold a cup.
There is a cure.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
Thank you.
after another Portugal here, the mother-in-law.
Yeah, so many. For us older women, you will find most of them having a problem with the fingers. They are not straight.
That's right.
Even sometimes the knees.
Okay. It attacks, it's an incurable autoimmune disorder which attacks healthy joints. Ne? It's very common. If untreated, it causes crippling deformity. Just talking about it. Ne? It frequently attacks the hands and also strikes other joints. Ne? Symptoms: pains, swellings, inflammation, limited movement, fatigue, fever, loss of appetite, enlarged lymph nodes,
And what?
enlarged,
enlarged.
yeah, enlarged lymph nodes, ne? Lumps under the skin, muscle stiffness. The muscle stiffness is after sleep or or inactivity. Okay. The lumps under the skin. Sometimes when you touch you feel like you've got lumps. Some say it's clots, but the lumps and clots are not the same. That's it. My aunt, I'm smart. Okay. It said it is an old age. It's an old age disease for elderly people, but there are cases where we have children or young people from the age of 18 to 22 who've got it. So it's not an old age disease. It is not.
My friend's son was 8 and he was diagnosed. Yeah.
Even
Yes.
I have, I think
It worsens with age, but it starts from an early age. That's right. Yeah, they say, yeah, With young people, sometimes they complain of sore throat. Just ordinary sore throat or tonsils. You know what happens with the sore throat? If it is not treated properly,
It moves.
it goes into the bloodstream, goes down into the bloodstream, and then slowly into the bones and all that. So it is very important to treat sore throat and tonsils. Don't leave them neglected. Okay. There was a case of somebody who died of our relatives. It was said he was killed by sore throat. Then I said, it was not sore throat. It was infection down the body. Okay. They say treating arthritis with drugs, the medicines and all that, can have very serious side effects, including liver damage and bone marrow toxicity. Because we are busy gulping and gulping these things. And then at the end of the day, they don't help, but they are just damaging the liver. And being deposited again into the bone marrow. Get it? Healing foods for RA is the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet is mostly rich fruit and vegetables. Rich fruit and vegetable. Olive oil. And olive oil. And then if you already have this disorder, switch immediately to the foods, the alkaline food that was displayed on the screen. That is our medicine. That is green medicine. And then you switch it to this diet for 12 weeks and see the changes. You will have reduced pain, reduced stiffness, and reduced hand weakness. And then the type of fish that you can eat, though it's not, it's the mackerel, mackerel, trout, and what, which have omega oil fatty acids, omega fatty acids, omega 3, not omega, just omega 3. Reduce, do away with red meat. Okay. And then get your omega from canola oil. Do you know canola? Yeah, canola oil. From flaxseed. He showed you a flaxseed, and then dark vegetables and walnuts. And then turmeric again, it's a painkiller, It prevents arthritis. Add it to rice, turmeric.
Yes.
Add it to rice. Add it to rice. Add it to rice, And other dishes, of course. And then also add it to stews, a teaspoon to your stews, And then chili peppers. Number 1 painkiller as well, And you can also use chili what apply it on
Outer.
apply it on topical. I make an ointment of that. Okay. Right. Okay. And then fruits and vegetables. If you don't take fruits and vegetables adequately, you are increasing the risk of RA. So it's very important to have them in your diet. tell yourself that you are changing your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is that food on the screen. Ne? Okay.
RA stands for
Hmm?
what arthritis?
What?
RA stands for
Rheumatic
Rheumatic.
arthritis. And then get your vitamins ne? From green grapes, broccoli, green beans, celery, Brussels sprout, cucumbers, lettuce, butternut squash.
vegetables.
It was on the screen.
Yeah.
On the screen. Okay. And then drink 8 cups of water a day. And then also take green tea. Green tea slows the breakdown of the cartilage.
Oh.
Green tea slows down the cartilage. This layer between the joints, in between the joints. No? Take 4 cups a day. And then olive oil, especially virgin extra oil. Ne? It prevents ARA. You can take 2 tablespoons a day
Of this layer.
of a virgin oil, virgin olive oil. It lubricates the joints. Yeah. And then the fruits, apples, oranges, grapes, peaches, plums, melons, watermelons, and pears. Those are fruits. Easy to get. Okay. Danger foods, things like booty hamburger, those are processed foods. You saw them,
The ones
all
that
those
we
things
saw.
there are danger foods,
They are so nice.
highly processed. It said it all. Okay. And then be wary of coffee. Coffee is the good. Coffee is only good for one thing, for asthma.
Oh.
Yes, but it must be the old move coffee, the one that you boil and unsweetened. Ne? Yeah, if you feel there's that attack, then you drink the move coffee. It's very good for asthma.
That's not good.
Otherwise, it is not good because it makes the bones brittle. Your bones break quickly. It eats on the bones, they become spongy. Ne?
Can it help a child? The diet coffee.
Hmm?
Can it help a little girl or a child?
A child will give a child a spoon,
Okay.
not a cup.
Okay.
Yes. You will reduce the amount that you give to children. Okay. That is it. Ne?
Because
And
why
then-
I'm saying so, you know, it's now August. The leaves are taking out that. So with these little children, the asthma attacks them.
Yeah, the
Right,
pollen, the pollen,
yeah.
that's right. And then fasting. Fasting now. We're talking fasting as a healing therapy. Ne? Fasting to treat rheumatism. Yes, fasting. Ne? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fasting in the European countries, in Sweden, it's taken as a sport.
Yes.
Fasting is a sport in Sweden. That's right. They do it once a year for a week. They all go out, they fast, they do it, and they do it where? At home. Yeah, it's a sport. It's done at home. That's right. That's how the Swedes are. That's how they treat their tonsils and other illnesses. No? You can fast for 90 days on water and up to 249 days on juice and liquids. The advantage of using juice for fasting, it cleanses and nourishes. It cleanses. It takes out the acids, the acidic food from the joints, from the other parts of the body, and it does what again? It's food again. It nourishes. It is said that liquid fasting is not dangerous. It can be done at home without supervision. But an average patient who does not know about fasting has to be supervised. If you help a person who does not understand it, you have to supervise that person. But otherwise, when you can do it at home. Okay. A person who does not insight on the various phases of fasting should not do it alone. You need to an expert supervision. This will ensure that he has a peace of mind and a successful outcome of the therapy. In Sweden, it is a national sport. Thousands of healthy young and old women and men do it for a week or two every year, at short, regular intervals. The fast, the advantage of fasting, it is an effective way to cleanse the body and to remove waste. It builds resistance and physical stamina. It prevents disease. You don't get weakened or depleted by fasting. Fasting strengthens the body in many ways. Stomach and digestive tract receives rest when fasting. It's true, It rests, That's right. It gives you a youthful vitality and health. And then fasting for lasting benefits. That's a heading. With juices. Prepare yourself for a cleansing diet. With a cleansing diet. For day 1 or 2, eat nothing. That is, you are preparing yourself. Eat nothing before, but raw fruits and vegetables. When you're preparing for the fast, you can only take fruits and vegetables. The raw ones. Okay. And then you can take a few ones with, if they are not tasteful, if you're doing it for the first time, you can add yogurt. The original yogurt. That's right. That's right. 2, eliminate waste on the day before you start the fast. If you have to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. Okay. And then don't eat the last meal. Don't omit the last meal when you go for the fast. And then with other people, you can take a double enema spade, so that everything goes out. You are eliminating. That's right. And I get so bummed for that.
What is that now?
Enema spade.
The one that
I can't do it.
I've also
I
tried
can't.
it.
What would you
I
put
cannot.
at the back?
Water,
Water,
To
maybe
take out,
even
but
tea.
instead you can drink a potato water.
Okay.
The boiled potatoes, you drink them so that you are eliminated. You are cleansing yourself. Bowel cleansing. It helps to remove The potato water helps to remove the waste from the colon and lower bowels. And then 2, this is bowel cleansing. Upon rising, ne? Okay, this one. Ne? Upon rising, take 1 cup of potato water. Ne? And then at 8 o'clock, you take yogurt, plain yogurt. Ne? And then at 11, you take a herbal tea, any herbal tea that is good for you. Ne? And at 1 p.m., you take fruit juice. It can be orange, apple, grape, pear, and you dilute it. Ne? It must be half a cup water and half a cup of juice. Get it? Or that is fruit juice. Or you take freshly made vegetable juice with carrots, plus carrots and celery together, ne? And then tomato juice, also diluted. That you are preparing yourself for a fast. Ne? And then at 4 p.m. you take a herbal tea. Ne? At 7 p.m. you take freshly pressed vegetable juice. Or at 9 p.m. you take potato water. That is cleansing. Cleansing. If you are not familiar with the process or the person you are advising, when you must supervise that person. Follow the steps. And another thing, for starters, do not take a fast for more than a week. When you start, you can do it for 2 or 3 days. The first 2-3 days. With time, you get used to longer days and all that. But it's always available or always advisable to do when you start. You start with 1 or 2 days. After the preparation, after cleansing yourself. Ne? And then how to break the fast. Ne? Do not overeat. Don't say, I have not been eating now. No. That do not overeat. Ne? Chew properly. Chew extremely well. 1 apple or another sweet fruit. Ne? And then take a bowl of fresh green salad, a juice, or a broth. Do you know what a broth is? Ne? A broth is a
vegetables cooked.
Yeah, you boil vegetables together.
Okay.
Yeah, that water is called a broth. Ne? That is day 1. Ne? And then day 2 and day 3, add some yogurt or cottage cheese, low cottage cheese. Ne? A little cereal, cooked vegetables like a potato or vegetable soup. Ne? And then that's day 2. And then day 3, you start to eat normally. Start eat but biggie normal. That's right. Okay, what happens when you are fasting? The psychological effects, ne? Eating, physiological, not psychological. Ne? You take out, ne? You eliminate toxins. All the excess through urine, skin, and lungs. Ne? They come out again. You have headaches. You have a coated tongue. The tongue is coated. Ne? And then you have a foul breath. Ne? And then you have this dizziness. But those are warnings that these things
This
may
is
happen, and people react differently. Ne? You feel hungry during the first 3 days, ne? But after that, on day three and onwards, the hunger disappears. Ne? When you drink juice first, you don't feel hungry. That's right. Ne? Because it's food, you don't feel hungry. Okay. That is it
So
about
during
fasting.
that time, can you drink water?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That is it. And it's fasting even with cancers as well. The fasting is therapy because the stomach is empty, the bowels are empty, and when you start on this alkaline diet, they find a clean system. A clean system. Okay. Any questions
That's
on
it.
fasting?
Thank you.
Okay.
I think all these diseases, they need fasting. So
That's
that
the
when
start.
you take, when
Really.
you change the diet, your system is
It
cleansed.
takes it.
Okay. I think I'm doing the last one now. Okay. It's cancer. And they've talked about the cancer here. Okay. Cancer does not settle anywhere in an alkaline diet. It doesn't. But it's comfortable in a solid, unhealthy diet. The salty, the diet that is where it feeds, ne? Cheese, it's hard. The processed foods that were shown here. All the hamons, the quarters that we eat. You know the quarters, no? That we eat. That is cancer number one. It settles there, it enjoys it. But where it is an alkaline diet, it doesn't settle. It doesn't. Okay. It can strike anyone. And anyone of any age. Anyone of any age. Ne? But more elderly people, the older people are the ones that have it frequently, but it can also strike on children. Children. We have children who are said they have cancer of the blood. Ne? Okay, that's right. In 3 or 4 families that are around, we find that there is one person who has cancer. It's exactly what was said here. It is everywhere, that's right. What causes cancer? It's an uncontrolled and disorderly multiplication of abnormal cells forming a tumor. What it does, ne? No. It forms a tumor, ne? We have benign tumors and malignant tumors. Benign is B-E-N-I-G-N, benign. A tumor is a growth, ne? A growth. Benign tumors do not spread, but yes. And malignant tumors spread frequently. Cancer destroys life by invading organs where it grows out of control. It expands, okay? It expands to a point where the organ can no longer carry out its functions and death follows. Okay. The spreading of cancer is the main cause of treatment failure. This is what causes the patient to die. The spreading. Yeah. What triggers cancer? It affects us differently. It can affect you differently from Mama here because we are not the same. That's right. Early detection is difficult. Yeah? Cancer looks like healthy cells from which they originate. Yeah? Okay? And the way it functions exactly like the healthy cells. Yeah? And it doesn't show that it is planning to destroy the body. It's caused by chemicals in the water, by food, by pollution in the environment. We breathe unhealthy air, and then cosmetic radiation, ultraviolet of the sun, and viral infection, and smoking. Those are the causes, some of the causes. Types of cancers: breast, there are so many of them, bladder, cervix, esophagus, the larynx, the lungs, the pancreas, the prostate, the rectum, intestines, stomach, and uterus. We have no control over the many factors that cause the cancer. Some of them we cannot control, but some we can try to control. Okay. For instance, we can change a lifestyle by reducing the alcohol, tobacco. Select preventative foods, reduce exposure to the sun, adopt healthy sex habits, choosing healthy partners, and practicing good personal hygiene. Those are the things that we can do. Okay. The disadvantage of smoking, it causes smoke as it goes into the smoke causes tar, and then this tar is deposited in all parts of the body. It can be the lungs, it can be the what, and all of them are caused by smoke. So the better if people stop smoking, but they resist. Okay. Smokers carry 5 times the risk of dying from kidney cancers as non-smokers. Ultimately, the tar lands in, it has been there and until it reaches the liver. The liver is the one that sifts, that removes the dirt and all that. And once it is loaded with this tar, the heavy tar, then it collapses. So it's advisable to avoid quick diet. Ne? 35% of people who die of cancer is because of diet imbalances. Ne? Taking of meat, consumption of meat, red meat, poultry, fish, dairy products, refined sugars, sweeteners, fats and oils, processed vegetables, processed fruits, everything that is processed, that is only, as you were saying, all those things contribute to a cancer. All the processed, all of them. Because something has been removed from them. The fibers and all have been removed. And some, even the milli, are you aware that the millimil that you add, it said there are vitamins added. Why vitamins added?
Because they take everything good out of it.
Why were they removed in the first place?
Yeah.
That's it. And you in the farms, you can grind the millis, the millis and make your own bribe up, what, which sells expensively in the shops, no? Because it's rich. Okay. We have reduced the consumption of whole grain products, potatoes, fresh fruit, vegetables, ne? It's true we have, ne? And by nature now we have all become lazy. We are lazy. We don't cook. We don't even teach our children to cook. Because you know what? We get everything ready-made. And the worst thing now, Kentucky chicken or pizza and what, they're being delivered on our doorsteps. We're even lazy to go and buy it. We phone, we ask for death to come to our house to be delivered.
Knocking on the door.
Hey.
And you pay for it.
And we feel we are good by doing that. And the West now, we can't even make it dumpling. The latest craze now, people are buying a dumpling from Spa. Ready dumpling from Spa.
Oh, the dough.
Yeah, the dough.
Not the dough. Yes, the dough, yes, but the already baked.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. This is how they have seen we are lazy. And we buy it and we feel good about it. And when you look at it, you just see that this thing is nothing else but
Wind.
not nourishing. We, Mommy, I say we order and we ask the devil to come to our houses. We order it because we can afford. We have the money. The money that we should be using to grow our own vegetables, get them from the soil and cook them the way God wants us to cook the food, or the way God wants us to eat it. That's why we are sick, because we are defying God's commandments. Okay. I'm saying we have become lazy. Okay.
The worst for me is the donut. What's that donut place? Krispy Kreme. Oh no, I can't stand it. I can't. Like when I see people eat it, I'm like, please don't, please don't.
And then it's very important that if we want to be healthy, we must also do our part. We must do our part. We must do what is right. Then we will be a healthy nation. And for us, Adventists, we must be exemplar. When they see you, when they see me, they must yes, and they must want to be like me. And when they come to my place, they must know that it is a place where we are different. When they get out of your, you give them fresh vegetables. You get it? You are an Adventist. You give them the good health. You see? And then you tell them that I won't give you next time. I want to you even give him a packet of
Seed.
when next time I come to a place or you go, you bring me the vegetables that you have grown. We must be exemplars. Live by example. We must not be. We must not do and be attracted by what they are doing. Why do we order food to be brought to our houses? Is it because we have money? The money that we don't even want to tithe?
Very true.
Yes, but we have money to order, to pay for that small bicycle that is bringing food to my... No, it's wrong. Let us be an example. Let us be a light. Let us shine. And people must look at us as role models. You get it? Yeah. Okay. Do our part. Yeah? We can beat cancer. Examine our lifestyle. Make whatever changes in order to protect and promote our lifestyles, né? And that of our loved ones. You can be a winner and not a victim. Make the right choices. Thank you. That is it for today.
But there's no herbs that you can advise on. Like cancer, there's no herbs.
Okay, for herbs.
I'm only asking.
Okay, I don't know. There are quite many. All right. No.
Okay.
In fact, I forgot.
I have that to eat.
I have no. I have a patient.
Oh, the
Yeah, I have. Okay, that's good you ask me. For once you want to change your lifestyle, ne? Okay. Ne? For breakfast, or if you have a person who is sick, ne? For breakfast you give them 220 millimeters of carrot juice plus avocado, ne? Which is pureed avocado. You add avocado onto the juice. Ne?
You put the arrow in the juice.
That's right. You can eat. You put it into millet. You know what millet it is? Put everything into millet, and then that's your breakfast. Okay. And then violet tea, violet leaf tea. Do you have violets, Auntie? Violets.
I don't have, but I know it.
Yeah. And they are common. Do you have them? Do you have violets?
I did, but they died.
They die in winter, but if you have them,
Violet leaves.
yeah, they're good for weekends.
I'll
Yes.
get some.
Is it the flowers or the
The
leaves?
leaves.
Leaves,
Yeah.
violet leaves.
Make tea, ne? And then lunch, a garden salad, green grated carrots, and horseradish. Horseradish is a herb, ne? It's a herb, ne? Make a dressing with horseradish. It has a tingy, a hot taste. Tingy, hot taste. Very good. Black green soup, black bean soup, and then carrot vegetables. Carrot with what? Turmeric. Ne? Raw squash, okra, celery, turnip, or parsnips. Parsnips are white carrots. Okay. And then for bread, it's whole grain bread. And then for dinner, a garden salad, cream of mushroom soup, squash, and then tea, peppermint tea. Peppermint tea. I didn't write them all. Okay, I didn't write them all.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, it's enough to go on with.
But for cancer again, write it. Stinging nettle,
Mm.
calendula, yarrow, horsetail, a teaspoon of each in a cup of
Boiled water.
In very bad cases of cancer, ne, you make 2.5 liters, which is 10 teaspoons. 10 teaspoons of, you combine equal parts, is yarrow, stinging nettle,
Calendula.
yarrow, stinging nettle, calendula, and horsetail, ne? Okay, of each, ne? And then you combine them together, ne? Okay. And then you can add quantities to make, and then that person you make the tea, pour it in the flask, ne? 2.5 flask, must be hot. First cup in the morning, in an empty stomach. And then throughout the day, they just drink this tea. At the end of the day, the 2.5 liters must be finished.
Sure.
You know what happens? They're going to, it's either the cancer. After 7 days, the cancer will come out through the mouth if it is the lungs. Big clots come out through clots of blood will come out through the mouth. Boom. Or at the back, that's right. That is the end, but you continue. And continue by eating
Yeah.
the alkaline diet.
I'll go home with this then. There's somebody there.
I think I'm done for the day. Any questions?
We'll come and visit you one day, Dave. And everything.
Mm.
I'd like